have continuous coverage is because of this storm right here that has had a tornado on the ground since it was in Arkansas over the last few hours, tracking more than 250 miles. Going to be close to a record-setting tornado on the ground situation here when it's all said and done. Let's hope it lifts before it does make it towards Grayson County and Breckinridge County. But that's what we have right now. Tornado warning will continue for about another 35-40 minutes. We'll continue to assess this, and we'll stay on air as long as we have tornado warnings.
Jude, that's a great reminder of why we're even on television right now. There's an active tornado warning for a storm that has a history of doing damage, of producing really bad weather. That warning now includes almost all of Breckinridge County and just the northern sliver of Grayson County. Right now you're looking at velocity, the reds and the greens right next to each other. This shows you how wind is moving inside of the storm. So we're walking it back in time. Great rotation couplet here. This looks like a very strong tornado. I mean, this is a point where you can say, as long as you look at the debris signature, that there's a tornado on the ground. As we walk it forward, you can see the bright colors hold steady. It spreads out a little bit, but in the last couple of scans, that rotation has narrowed again. We're seeing a tightening of that couplet, and I want to do the same thing here. Notice the bright blue color, well, the dark blue color inside of the bright green. I think we're seeing more debris being produced from this storm. As we walk it back a couple of scans, you don't see that same blue color, not quite that same intensity. We just have some lighter greens and some yellows doing more minimal debris here. But as we walk it to that current scan and you see the blues showing up again, I think we're seeing a little bit more debris showing up in that same spot. I mean, when you see the rotation couplet that's that tight in the same position as that debris signature, and it's in an area of high reflectivity, check, check, and check. That's three criteria that we need to tell you that there is likely a tornado on the ground doing damage right now, and that's just north of Hartford. Again, tracking toward the northeast at 60 miles an hour. So not only is the wind inside of the storm moving incredibly fast, we're seeing some very strong wind in the storm, it's also just moving fast, which again is part of the reason that warning was issued so early. If you're watching us in Breckinridge County or in northern Grayson County and you're in your safe place, thank you first. But you might be saying, well, why do I need to be here already? I've got another 20 minutes until that rotation couplet gets to me, at least maybe another 30 minutes. You need to be there because this storm has a history of producing damage and of hurting people. This same storm, and we're still seeing that debris being detected here. As we pull that track out, again, moving to the northeast at 60 miles an hour, here are the spots where it's going to be in the next several minutes. Sulphur Springs, any minute now. You are right on the edge of that toughest part of the storm where that rotation couplet is focused. The Shreve area, you've got about 10 minutes. Kirk, 25 minutes for you guys, and the Woodrow community still about 30 minutes away from you. If you live near any of those communities that we've just called out or anywhere inside of this warning box, now is the time to be in your safe place. The lowest level of your home, as many walls between you and the storm as you can. Based on the history of this storm, don't mess around. It's not worth it. It's not worth the safety of you, your friends, and your family. Jude, what are you seeing over there in the Weather Center?
I wanted to pass something along. This is in a different county. This is coming out of Du Bois County, Indiana. Report of a carport flipped over on a telephone pole causing damage. Wanted to pass that along. While we don't have a warning in Du Bois County, there is some damage being reported with some of those straight line winds up that way. So there are other thunderstorms ongoing right now. We will continue to spend most of the focus as we go down with that tornado warning. It's still not into Grayson or Breckinridge County, but every scan brings it in closer and closer and closer, and this is a big daddy. This is going to have winds even around the tornado, and with the heavy rain coming down, that could gust 60 to 70 miles per hour. So it's not just that tornado area, it's the entire cell that we're watching that will move through Breckinridge County. And at this point, the central and northern portion of Grayson County will have the chance for some damaging winds. But the center of this storm that's just crossing 165 is where we have that circulation and the likelihood for that tornado.
So, Jude, I think maybe a good time just for some people just to let them know that you probably have another 15, 20 minutes before this enters our counties. So this has been a warning way out in advance of it actually impacting your area. And that's because the storm has done so much damage for such a long period of time. So what the Weather Service wanted to do is give you ample time to get you and your family to your safe place. You can see this is the debris detector. That signature still holding strong, just crossed over 165. Probably did some damage there, and will continue to do so as we approach Sulphur Springs, Hickory Corner, in about 19 minutes, in Locust Hill in the next 32, if this indeed holds together. The one saving grace, if we can get some more rainfall on the southern side of this storm, that would allow it to weaken just a tad, because it would mean the storm is going to ingest cooler air. So what I kind of want to do is just give you a quick tour on radar, because this is not the only thing we have going on. It's the only tornado warning that we have in the area. But you can see heavy rain and thunderstorms now moving through areas like Tell City, through English. Rainfall coming down in buckets in areas like Salem as well as Seymour. We have a lot of lightning. Thankfully, aside from that tornado warning, there are no other warnings at the moment. Still some gusty winds inside these storms hitting Orangeville, approaching Salem, Seymour. This will cross over I-65 in the next 20 to 40 minutes, and it will do so with some gusty winds. You will hear these storms rocking and rolling over your house. In Louisville Metro, I know a lot of people are saying, hey, I live in the city. What should I expect here? For now, rainfall is light in nature. It will pick up as this line comes through. And what this initial line now, what we're seeing, will do is hopefully weaken the next batch of storms, because this is not going to be a situation where we're one and done. There are additional storms lining up behind this line, and that's going to keep us busy all the way through the night into the wee hours of tomorrow and also Saturday. So what we're looking at is this storm. Here's the one that has a tornado warning. It's not quite in our area yet, but with each passing minute, it's getting closer and closer. Look at all the lightning. This thing is an electric machine. All the lightning strikes showing up just north of 62, tracking north and east. It's moving at 60 miles an hour, so it is cooking. It is stepping on the gas, moving closer to Fordsville. Still has debris being detected. And what we have turned on is the velocity, so it takes away everything else and just shows you the winds inside the storm. And you can clearly see that couplet right there where the bright colors come together. That means the winds probably in excess of, let's say, 150 miles per hour ongoing inside the storm. It is going to be a storm system that we have not seen in about a decade. This thing is going to be historic, unfortunately. And as it tracks north and east, just to give you a quick highlight of some of the towns in its path: Rockvale, 12 minutes, Kirk in 20, Locust Hill in 27, and Woodrow. If this holds together, and let's pray it doesn't, in about a half hour, this storm could be impacting your community. It's done a lot of damage in the past, and it's still doing damage as we speak. So this is one that you cannot turn your back on. Make sure you stay with this one every step of the way. And we're going to be here watching it as long as we have to, because it is serious. It's a life-threatening situation. We do not say that this often. When you have life and property in danger, we're going to cut in, and this is that time.
Rick, it really looks like if this track holds and doesn't shift, it is going to skirt along the Breckenridge-Grayson County line and probably have a direct hit just on the northern side of that. Now, that's if it doesn't move. I mean, you can't guarantee a perfectly linear path when it comes to tornadoes, severe storms. They will definitely move a little bit, but within this line that we have shown here, I think we're pretty much zeroed in on it right now. And this is not your run-of-the-mill tornado. A lot of times you'll get EF0, EF1 tornadoes, which are bad, winds 80, 90, 100 miles per hour. But this one is going to go down in the books, and at some point during this path, most likely having damage coming from tornadoes that were close to EF4, maybe EF5, as it's come out of Arkansas, western Tennessee, into southwestern Kentucky. We're not saying it still has that kind of wind with it right now. We don't know. We don't know exactly how strong the winds are down at the ground, but it's probably greater than 100 miles per hour. And you're talking about a real problem as it's right on top of Sunnydale, moving off to the east-northeast towards northern Grayson County, southern Breckenridge County, and this thing's moving at 50 to 60 miles per hour. It is closer. We are going to have to get a little more serious with this now, because when we first came on air about 20 minutes ago, you know, we had time to watch this evolve and see how it was going to act. Well, now it is really close to Kentuckiana. It's time to get into the basement. It's time to make those phone calls to anyone that you know that is down close to northern Grayson County and Breckenridge County to make sure they are awake, and get the whole family up and get down into the basement or the center portion of your home, away from all the windows. Put as many walls around you as you can, because we have a tornado on the ground, and not just a weak tornado. The likelihood that this tornado right now, about 15 miles away from our viewing area, will have winds greater than 100 miles per hour.
So, Jude, just to read this wording, it is a large and extremely dangerous tornado. I mean, that is something that we do not say very often. So that should tell you it's no joke. You need to take action, and you need to do so immediately. There was a lot of warning time ahead of it, so hopefully you're already prepared and you have not waited until the last minute. You've already gathered your family, made some phone calls to your friends, and get everyone in that safe place. So this is going to track north and east. What you see is the velocity. And just to kind of give you a quick explanation, what you look for are those very bright colors right next to each other. And we absolutely have that showing up on velocity. So the greens, those are winds going toward the radar. The reds are winds going away. And there is a very powerful area of rotation with this storm, which is why it has a tornado, it has done damage, and it will continue to do damage. So what's the best thing you can do? In these sort of scenarios, we use the word duck. So what you want to do is you need to go downstairs, underneath something. Hopefully you have a staircase or maybe a really large, sturdy table. You want to cover your head. If you have a helmet laying around, that's something good to grab, or maybe a mattress. Also, you want to keep in that safe place until this warning expires, and we have a ways to go. It has not even made it into our viewing area. It's going to just basically carve out this area right along the edge of Grayson County and Breckinridge County. That's the path it will take. We can see the history as it crossed just north of Hartford, and now it's approaching areas like Short Creek, McDaniels. McDaniels is right in the path of this if it indeed maintains its strength and its intensity. Near the Narrows area, you can see we still have this tornado debris signature, which is this little blue hole. That indicates that this tornado has picked things up, whether it's 2x4s, shingles, trash, leaves, and debris, and it's all being lofted up in the air, and we can detect these particles. Radar is that strong. When we don't see anything on radar, it's just that plain old pink color. That means everything is uniform. When things aren't uniform, that's when you see those areas of dark blue, and that's exactly what we have going on. So we know this thing's doing damage. There is no shadow of a doubt in our mind that we have ongoing damage just outside our viewing area. Lightning strikes, they're there, about 320 in the last scan. Lightning, heavy rainfall, tornado, and some gusty winds. Those are the main four things that you want to watch out for as this storm continues to race to the northeast at 60 miles per hour. Hannah, what are you looking at over there? Looks like you got a picture for us.
I do have a picture for you. It's not a good one. Don't get excited about it. This is the damage that this storm did in Mayfield, Kentucky. This is the courthouse. If you go to my Twitter feed right now, you can see a before and after photo side by side, so you know what it looked like before the tornado came through. This photo was taken this evening after the tornado passed, so there is some significant damage to that structure. And friends, that's just one of the many reports we're getting out of that area of really awful damage. That's a spot where this same storm passed through within the last couple of hours. Now, obviously, the storm looks very different now. The power, the intensity, the rotation, all of it is very different now than when this occurred. But it's the same storm. This is why you were given so much lead time, so much advance notice to take the necessary actions that you need to keep yourself and your family safe, because this is what that storm can do. That's why we're going to be with you as long as this storm is in our area. Remember, the warning goes until 1 o'clock, so another 20 or so minutes we're going to be with you at the very least, because, Jude, this storm clearly capable of doing some really significant damage. Again, it looks real different now, but it's important to acknowledge what has happened in the last couple of hours that brought us to where we are right now.
And you look at this structure, this isn't a wood structure, that's brick and mortar. I mean, that only comes down when winds are 150 miles per hour or greater. And this kind of structure and trees just stripped apart, the bark off of it, is not going to happen with a weak tornado. You're talking about a tornado that is EF3 or greater, and that's the storm path that's moving very close to Kentuckiana right now. And as we show you the winds inside this storm, where we have a tornado on the ground greater than 100 miles per hour. You know, the National Weather Service referred to this as a tornado that we haven't really seen. In the last decade, that would be back since Henryville. This is a Henryville kind of tornado that has been on the ground since Arkansas, western Tennessee, southwestern Kentucky, now just moments away from moving into Kentuckiana. We were hoping we would lose some of that strong signature, some of those winds as it got closer to us since we've had some rain-cooled air. Unfortunately, that has not been the case. This is really a tornado emergency kind of situation that we're undergoing right now as this moves towards northern Grayson County, southern and central Breckinridge County, off to the east-northeast at around 50 to 60 miles per hour. With this kind of movement, you're looking at a storm that's not going to give you time to prepare. You have to be ready to go, ladies and gentlemen, right now. If you're in Rockvale, if you're down towards Short Creek, you are right in the path of this, right in between it, like the 710 split. This thing's coming straight down the alley with the likelihood of a tornado that's on the ground. And here's our shear marker. We've taken all the other clutter off. I just want you to focus on this one zone here where you find these blips of blue and purple. That's where the winds are rotating, and it is just now, just moments away from coming into northern Grayson County and really southern Breckinridge County, right in between this purple box. This is a tornado warning, but it's a different color that you don't often see. The reason it's purple is because we have a tornado confirmed. So that's like next level stuff here, as we have a tornado emergency kind of situation that's ongoing, tracking this to the northeast as we move towards Kirk, Locust Hill, Woodrow, and Rosetta. These are the estimated times of arrival. Don't look at those and think that is the exact time it's going to be there. You know, this will change speeds a little bit, but we give you that ETA to be ready. And there's rain and thunderstorms all over the place. We did have a report of some damage out of Du Bois County with some straight line wind. But the main storm is where we have that tornado ongoing heading towards Grayson and Breckinridge County. We will give you more updates with other storms, but right now this is what we're focused on. If there were any more warnings, severe thunderstorm warnings, tornado warnings in Kentuckiana, we'd definitely be hopping all over that as well. But for now, we're going to be focused on this storm where there is a tornado on the ground.
Jude, we just got an update from the Kentucky State Police about some of the damage done when the storm was back in Mayfield and the communities around there. I want to read a couple of snippets to you from their release. They report that this tornado event has spread damage across multiple counties in western Kentucky, and they say that there is significant damage already reported. Some great news here. No fatalities have been confirmed at this time. However, the Kentucky State Police alerting us that that is certainly very possible. In fact, they say loss of life, unfortunately, is expected in this release that they've sent us. So we'll certainly keep you updated should we learn any more from KSP or any of their other partners. But that's what we're dealing with here, and that's why we look so closely at what you're seeing here, that debris signature. Things in the air that are not rain or hail or, you know, things that are supposed to be there. We have damage ongoing. You're looking at one couplet of rotation there and then kind of highlighting a brighter spot outside Glendine of at the very least strong wind. Jude, how strong?
60 to 70 knots is what we're picking up. And even on that correlation coefficient, there's a little bit of debris potentially up there. Now that could be debris from the actual tornado south of that that's just getting lofted up in the air and coming down away from the actual tornado. That's how strong this is. I mean, you're talking about winds over 100 miles per hour.
I mean, right now, it's go time. I mean, it is crossing over the Breckinridge and Grayson County border. This is going to basically traverse right along the border of those two counties. So if you are in southern Breckinridge, far northern Grayson County, we cannot emphasize this enough. This is not a radar indicated tornado, which you tend to see most of the time, run of the mill. This is the real deal. There is a large and extremely dangerous tornado on the ground, and it continues to do damage. We were watching the behavior of this, and we were hoping it would start to relax a little bit and come down. That has not materialized, and what you're looking at is a product we call NROT, or normalized rotation, and what this does is it really allows us to just look at where that rotation is, and you can see that clearly defined area of rotation right where we have that strong velocity signature. And this thing is now in southern Breckinridge County. So if you live in southern Breckinridge County, if you have friends, if you have family, and they may be fast asleep, call them over and over again. They need to hear this information because this could cost them their life. I mean, this is that sort of serious situation. Anytime we see bright colors like this on velocity, we know it's bad. And we don't like to say that. It's not a scare tactic. We are just trying to relay information to you from what we are seeing with our eyes as we analyze radar and tell you what you need to do to make sure you and your family are safe. Very clearly, where you can see the gates right up against each other. Those brighter colors, the reds and the greens. This is going to go north and east pretty rapidly here. So areas of Glendine, just to the south of you, this should stay just north of the Hickory Corner area. And what we've turned on is what we call gate-to-gate shear. So you look on both sides of that velocity and you add those two numbers up, and we have winds around 134 miles per hour. That is extremely strong, potentially a violent tornado ongoing as we speak. This will keep sliding north and east. So I know if you're in Breckinridge County, if you're in Grayson County, hopefully you are already in your safe place and you've taken the necessary precautions to protect yourself. But this thing, I have a bad feeling that it's not going away anytime soon. So while we are eyeing Grayson and Breckinridge County, if you live in Hardin County, if you live in Bullitt County, this is now the time to start thinking, okay, well, if this tornado doesn't go away shortly, what am I going to do? What's the plan? So this is a really good time to think ahead outside of those two counties as to what you would do if you were in this scenario. Again, I would say our severe threat is going to line up in our Kentucky counties. While we can't rule out some severe thunderstorm or tornado warnings for the rest of Kentuckiana, this is the main focus right now near Rockvale, near McCoy, along 259 just to the south of Kirk. That main area of rotation should stay. As it goes north and east, it's going to cause considerable damage. Areas like McCoy in the line, Woodrow, High Plains, Big Spring, and Flaherty. In the next 10 minutes to half hour or so, this storm is going to rock through, and I really pray that you have a safe place that is downstairs. A basement is by far the safest place you can be. And I know not everyone has a basement, so in that scenario, what do? You find an interior room. A bathroom is really good because a lot of that plumbing can kind of help create extra barriers between you and the storm. But you want to find the room that has the most walls between you and the outside. And what that's going to do is give you some extra layers of protection. I know, if you're traveling right now, or you know people traveling in this zone, what you want to do, get in contact with them and tell them that they need to get off the road. It's not safe to travel, not only in these sort of storms, but at night, it poses a whole nother danger because you cannot see what's coming at you. A majority of the time, the storm has been wrapped in rain. So you couldn't even see it coming if you wanted to. And that's why it poses another elevated threat. I mean, this is the kind of tornado that you kind of see during the spring, in the day, not in December at night. And that just creates a bigger problem.
Well, and the whole at night thing, I mean, an absolute nightmare scenario. That's why I'm so glad Rick told you, if you know someone in these areas, call them until they answer so they know what's going on. Now, in the background, while Rick was talking to you guys, Jude and I were looking at this debris signature, the correlation coefficient. Remember, anything that's not pink is something wrong. That's not something that should be there. If we can walk that back a couple of scans, and actually, guys, we could probably take the CC full screen in one panel so it's a little bit easier to see that. So as we flip that over to CC, we're going to walk this back a couple of scans until there's only one debris signature, one hole in the CC. That's what you're seeing down here. The blue, the green, one area of debris. Now walk it forward. You're going to watch that spread out. I think what we're seeing here, Jude called it debris contamination. You're watching debris from the tornado being pushed farther north by the strong wind inside of this storm. We just showed you a minute ago, south of Hardinsburg, there's another kind of bright spot in the velocity, and we can flip back to that as well. Another bright spot there telling us there's likely some strong wind. Well, now you can see it just south of McQuady. My goodness, that's some strong wind. Earlier, that was, I think 70 to 80 knots, maybe close to 70 knots. Incredibly strong wind here. So that makes some sense that if there's debris in the air, whether that be, shingles or leaves and twigs, it doesn't have to be a 2x4. The strong wind that's present in the overall storm is pushing that out. So even if you're not necessarily in the path of this storm, you have got to be inside because there's debris falling from the sky. Even if you're not necessarily in the path of that strongest rotation, McQuady up toward Hardinsburg, I'm looking at you guys. You're seeing some of that debris that's now starting to potentially fall out of the sky when you're not even near this rotation couplet, the tightest, most severe part of this storm. That's what we've got to be watching now as the storm starts to spread out a little bit. It's building power. You've got to watch for other factors that come along with that. Strong wind gusts definitely happening inside of the storm, the heavy rain as well that we've been talking about tonight. And just a reminder that even if you're not included in this particular tornado warning, there's ongoing active weather across the entire area. We mentioned earlier a report of some damage in Du Bois County. There's no warning there, and there wasn't at the time. But there is strong wind, and there will be strong wind in all of these communities through the evening. So right now you're looking at that ongoing tornado warning for essentially most of Breckenridge County and the northern part of Grayson. That's where we are seeing active ongoing rotation from a storm that has a history of doing significant damage. It's moving to the northeast at around 60 miles an hour. Cave Spring community, you've got less than 5 minutes until that strongest part of the storm is in your area. McCoy, you're closer to 10 minutes. Woodrow, you've got 10 to 15 minutes until this gets to you. Rosetta, closer to 20 minutes. As we zoom out, you can get a kind of bigger perspective on this storm. And one of the topics we've been talking about is the fact that this supercell has held together for just a record amount of time, but now it's running into an area that's already seen rain and storms this evening. It's running into an area that's just not going to help it sustain. It's not going to help build that supercell structure. And I think as you look at the loop here, that's something that you're watching happen in the moment. That storm doesn't look like a classic supercell anymore. While it still poses a significant threat, I think we're seeing a lot more wind develop in there. We're still watching that active rotation, the potential for that tornadic activity to continue. But this storm is evolving. It is changing in front of our eyes, and we've got to keep watching that as well. Guys, what are you watching over there on the radar? What are you seeing on that shear marker?
The shear marker, I mean, it just won't go away. And that's such an unfortunate thing to say because it is now in our area. It's impacting northern Grayson County, southern Breckenridge County. What I want to do is flip over to the velocity that we have on Analyst. And I want to kind of go back and forth because we're seeing something else evolve on the velocity, which just shows us the wind. So if we go back a little bit, I want to first point out the couplet where we have that main area of rotation. You can see tightening up right there. And as we move forward in time, it actually starts to weaken just a tad. I don't want to give you the wrong idea. This is not by any means, you're safe, you're good to go. The couplet, the rotation is still there. But what I want to do is focus your attention off to the north. And what you see is this area, which is just to the southeast of McQuady. And that has wind gusts in terms of knots of 70. And when you do the math and you put it to miles per hour, those are 80-mile-per-hour winds, which is downright destructive. So southwest of McQuady, we have 80-mile-per-hour winds carrying debris from this storm, and it's going to do damage. So you're going to not only have rain falling from the sky, there's actually debris coming down with that particular strong and severe storm. So while we don't have one area to watch out for, we actually have two areas. This is just kind of a residual effect from this initial tornado warning. We have now debris. This is tracking northbound with 80-mile-per-hour winds. So this is a very dangerous situation where we have a tornado ongoing, but also very powerful winds coupled in the exact same warning. So thankfully, you are warned. You knew something was coming, but it's going to be something a little bit different with some powerful winds carrying debris northbound. Hannah?
The Weather Service has now extended that warning. You can see how that second purple box overlaps the first. So a new tornado warning with all of the same tags. This is a tornado that has been observed. The tornado damage threat here is considerable. This is a confirmed, large, and extremely dangerous tornado. All of that is direct language from the National Weather Service. I am reading that to you. But this new tornado warning includes parts of Breckenridge, Hardin, and Meade counties until 1:30 in the morning. The storm's still moving in the same direction and at the same pace, guys. So northeast at 60 miles an hour. But this just shows you while we are seeing this storm evolve in front of our eyes, this still presents an ongoing tornado threat. We are seeing significant wind inside of the storm. We are watching it rotate in the moment, and the Weather Service moving forward, advancing that really strong language in their tornado warning. This is not your run-of-the-mill tornado warning, which is bad enough. This is a level up, and we are continuing with that leveled up tornado threat here. So, Jude, you've been watching the last couple of scans. Have you seen any difference in the rotation or in how the storm is moving?
What looks a little different is the entire cell structure. Over the last 10 minutes, it almost looks like some of that rotation is trying to nudge a little bit farther to the north from where it initially came in close to the Breckenridge-Grayson County line. So let's check out what the winds are doing inside of this storm. We're going to look to see how the raindrops are moving around. We go to velocity, and where we had that really tightly wound couplet, the winds rotating, where we had confirmation and half confirmation of a tornado on the ground right around Hickory Corner up towards Axtell, that doesn't have the same look. It's almost trying to move a little bit farther north up into the center of this cell. That could make a little more sense because out ahead of it on the southern side where the air is moist and warm, that's getting drawn up into it. So we could see this structure change a little bit as it overtakes a new kind of a face to it, kind of a facelift to this storm, which isn't necessarily a good thing because it's trying to stay alive. It's doing whatever it can to bring in the atmospheric goods to keep this storm pumping. And we really don't want to see it kind of change and try to intensify anymore. So we're going to have to watch this, but it looks like some of that rotation is now nudging up closer to the center, a little bit farther north up into Breckenridge County, as it was once down in here, now kind of right up in the heart there, next in line, northern Hardin County, Meade County. That's why we have the new tornado warning, and again, tornado confirmed with this. Here's a look at where the winds are coming towards the radar. Green is to the radar up at Fort Knox. Red is away. So there's your rotation right in through there, putting that circle right in the center of that tornado warning box, still tightly wound, and kind of taking on a little bit more of a different structure of it right in the center, moving off to the northeast. Radcliffe, as we go towards Woodrow, Graysville, High Plains, Big Spring, Flaherty, 31W, and eventually I-65, and eventually outside of this box, you know, you have to be ready in Bullitt County. Yeah, I know we don't have a warning right now, but when you think about this storm, 275 miles away is when it began with a tornado on the ground, and essentially there has not been a tornado that's lifted off the ground since that has occurred. This thing is going to be a record setter. This is going to be a tornado that's studied for years and years, and the fact that it's December, a couple weeks before Christmas, is just mind-blowing that this can actually happen as we watch this tornado warning continue. And again, Meade County, you have some time to get that plan going right now, but as it moves quickly at 50 to 60 miles per hour, you're on the clock, so you're not going to have a lot more time if you wait. Start making some phone calls. Even if you're up here in southern Indiana, if you have friends down here in Meade County, Hardin County, pick up the phone, give them a call, wake them up so they know what's coming. Elsewhere, just a real quick update. There's heavy rain, there's thunderstorms in southern Indiana. No warnings right now. You go south from Litchfield over towards Campbellsville, no warnings. It is right here coming out of northern Grayson County, Breckenridge County. This is the one storm, and this is the one storm with a tornado on the ground with winds at times greater than 100 miles per hour. We've seen that with the radar. We've seen that with confirmation from the damage, along with thousands of lightning strikes, all sorts of hazards, as this will continue for the next 30 to 45 minutes.
And Jude, I want to point one thing out on the same radar page, is that what you kind of notice is just to the south side, we are starting to get a flanking line of some storms flaring up, and this is impacting eastern Grayson County. They're not severe. They will track into Hart County and move eventually into southern Hardin County, but this will hopefully start to choke off this very powerful, extremely large and dangerous tornado that is continuing to track north and east. And if this will evolve, then in time, hopefully the trend will be this will start to weaken a little bit. But for now, it is just incredible to see how long this has been on the ground. Over 200 miles it's been doing damage, and we still have damage now coming in. We're starting to get reports of power outages. Just expect more of those to come in. Multiple tree limbs will be brought down. Unfortunately, this is going to cross over in areas that haven't really been touched by some rainfall, and that means the fuel is still there in the short term. So if you're asleep, hopefully you have someone who's looking out for you. Hopefully you have someone who is keeping you basically up to date with what's happening, because right now this is something that we really do not see very often. It is the upper echelon of a very strong, violent tornado doing damage in our area, and that purple warning box is different. You're saying, why is it purple right now? That's because it's confirmed. Typically the red is we have a tornado, or it's possibly radar indicated. This one's entirely different. This means there's a tornado, there's no doubt about it, and it continues to do damage. So right now, areas of Hardin and southern Meade County, you need to start to prepare and get yourself in that safe place.
Right now you're seeing in that second box our camera in Elizabethtown, Kentucky. I think it's pointing to the north. We're seeing a couple of lightning flashes there. What we want to catch is a lightning flash that would show up behind the tornado if one is on the ground, if one exists. That's about the only way that you could see a tornado at night. You also have to consider, wow, that's a pretty good flash. You also got to consider that this tornado is wrapped in rain. Again, if there is still a tornado on the ground, it's covered by rain. These are nearly impossible to see at night, which is just another great reason for you to stay indoors right now. In fact, in your safe place, because you're not going to be able to see this. You're not going to get a great photo of it. It's dark. We've wrapped it up in rain. It's really difficult to see. We'll continue to keep an eye on that E-Town camera. If we see anything develop, we'll share it with you. And we are continuing to watch just the evolving structure of this storm. In fact, I'm going to put this in motion over the last hour and zoom in just a hair so you can see. This looked like a great supercell. It looked like a chicken nugget. That's what we called it when I was in college learning about these things. It looks like a chicken nugget. It's got a great rotation. It looks really nice. Now, in the current frames, it's more spread out. It looks kind of more strung out, a little bit longer and leaner. That's different. It's a different structure. We're not saying that the tornado threat is over. It is not. We're not saying the wind threat is over. It is definitely not. But this storm is changing. It's running into a different kind of atmosphere. As it was farther west from us, it had all of this open playground with tons of energy. It was sucking in that warmer and more humid air, and that's why it was able to track so long and so far. Now it's moving into an area that's seen more rain today. It still has that warm, humid air. It's still ingesting that from the south. But to the north and to the northeast out ahead of that storm, it's getting a little bit of a different meal, and that's why we're seeing a lot of this structure change right now. The threats remain. And this is what we talked about all day today. The threats remain the same. Even though we're watching the structure change, the storm is still rotating. It still has strong wind inside of it. Obviously, very heavy rain, plenty of lightning, which brings plenty of thunder. All the threats remain the same.
Definitely looks different.
Right, as you look inside of it, why don't you pull up that velocity again? That looked really good. We're just not seeing that same structure. It doesn't even look like the same tight couplet. It's kind of more folding in on itself than just rotating in a single spot. Jude, what are you seeing here? What has changed for you?
No, it's just not as wrapped up. It looks, like you said, more spread out, a little more diffuse. Let's see if we have any more debris detected. If we can click on that, let's go to the 3D analyzer. A little bit coming out of McDaniels, but even that is different, heading towards Hudson. The tornadic vortex signature, that upside down triangle that you see, is north of it. There's no debris being detected around that. So this definitely has a different appearance, and as we emphasize, we are not saying this is over. We're not saying there isn't a tornado. There's definitely still so much going on with this cell, and this has had a history of a tornado on the ground for a very long time. It might just be trying to cycle a little bit, trying to take a different shape and to keep on going. There's still the chance that a tornado could be on the ground right now. It just does not have that same kind of look, which is good news. We're hoping this trend continues. But it does have the characteristics that there could remain winds in excess of 75 to 90 miles per hour right now.
Well, let's talk about, Rick, what we're expecting through the rest of the evening, through the next few minutes with this storm, and through the next couple of hours with the broader storm structure that's going on here. What should folks be expecting tonight? More of the same, or are things going to look a little different in the next few hours?
Well, what we're going to get is this initial wave of rain and storms, and what this will do is it's going to help steal the energy from the atmosphere. Now, the cold front is still way off to our west. You see an additional line of severe thunderstorms lining up through the state of Illinois. So the front isn't through yet. And the front just out ahead of it has the most wind energy with it. So this is going to take away some of the fuel, which we call CAPE. And what that's going to do is allow that second wave to be a little bit weaker. Does that mean we're not going to get warnings? Absolutely not. But what it means is that hopefully that second one will not have the same intensity as this first one.
Rick, we got a quick update from the Weather Service before you walk over there to track the storm. So when they first issued this warning, extended it out into further into Breckenridge County and even beyond, it was a purple warning box. That was an observed tornado. There was incredibly strong language with that from the Weather Service. Now look at the map, friends. That's a red warning box. That is a regular tornado warning, and I don't want to say regular like it's run-of-the-mill and everything's fine. That's an active tornado warning. Let's call a spade a spade. But that's a tornado warning for a radar-indicated tornado, which means this thunderstorm is capable of producing a tornado, not that there's an active tornado on the ground. Do we understand the difference there? Before we had a storm that had a history of producing damage, and every indication from the radar told us there was still a tornado on the ground and doing damage. With this most recent update that changed your warning box back to red, this tells us what we have been thinking over the last couple of minutes here, that tornado likely not on the ground at the moment, but capable of dropping at any moment. So Rick, why don't you go ahead and continue what you were going to do, track this storm for us, show us what's going on in there now that we've got that update.
Okay, well, thank you, Hannah. We appreciate the update because that is very important news and a good sign. Hopefully this trend will only continue. But what I kind of want to do is just show you this particular storm, and then we'll go through and let you know what's going on across the rest of our area. So for now, the velocity, the gate-to-gate shear has come down dramatically. Before we were looking at gate-to-gate shear of 125. It's down to 48, so nearly cut by 2/3. That is a sign that we want to see continue. Still has very powerful winds. I don't want to give you the wrong idea. In Rosetta, it's about 2 minutes away. Big Springs, 10. Flaherty, 15. Vine Grove, 22. And Radcliffe and Pitts Point, about 25 to 35 minutes from you as it tracks north and east around 60 miles per hour. We have this tornado warning, which includes areas of Woodrow, Big Spring, Radcliffe. It's this little area here, that little bow area, which we have to watch out for because inside those bows, you tend to get some stronger winds. This is going to slide north of E-Town, and what you notice are additional storms flaring up just south of E-Town. So E-Town, you're about to get hit by some non-severe thunderstorms, and those will get absorbed into the bigger picture, which shows that storm just off to our north. And you can see when we put on the debris detector that debris just tremendously getting lifted north by some strong winds inside that storm. We are not seeing as strong as a signature that we had earlier. Yes, we are still seeing some signs, perhaps some debris being lofted, but the overall picture shows that it has come down and come down dramatically. So we continue with this tornado warning. The rest of the area, we still have rain and storms. They are not severe, but they still pose a threat. Strong storms rolling through. I want to tell you, if you live in Lawrence County, you are basically in the clear for now. Does it mean you are done with storms for the night? No. You can see another line around Mount Vernon, and this is all sliding off to the east. That's along the actual cold front, so two waves. The wave moving through now, there's a bit of a gap, and another wave moving through. On the southern edge of this initial line, we have yet another confirmed tornado. And this area, which is along and south of the parkways, hasn't seen much of any rainfall during the day and at night. So we have to watch this one carefully because this could unfold again where we see a very strong tornado slide through in areas like Campbellsville, down through parts of Adair County into Glens Fork. If you live in areas, let's say in Washington, Marion County, you're going to have a long night ahead of you. I hate to say this, but you're probably going to lose some sleep tonight with the ongoing threat for storms, and they're lining up approaching Bowling Green. So if you look at that exact path, it puts it right there through LaRue County, through Hart, Greene, Taylor, Adair, Washington, Marion County. You have not been hit with those storms, and they are rolling to the south of you, and they will be here in the coming hours. So this is one of those nights where we're just going to be on here for several hours probably watching each tornado warning that comes out because this is not going to be the last one we have.
And while we don't have confirmation of a tornado on the ground heading towards Meade County, northern Hardin County, we are taking a couple extra minutes to focus on other areas where it is storming. Rick pointed out the tornado confirmation along the Kentucky-Tennessee border. That's down moving towards Hopkinsville and Christian County. He brought up a great point. This air has been untouched. There's a good chance this will hold to some degree. So eventually south of the Western Kentucky and Bluegrass Parkway, we will be getting involved with the risk for severe weather going up. For now, with all the lightning and still some rotation, albeit much weaker, some rotation with this tornado warning now Doppler indicated heading towards Meade County and northern Hardin County as we look back towards Owensboro and Henderson. Tornado warning with the cell that does show weakening as it's moving into an atmosphere that has been rain cooled, does not have the instability as this moves off to the northeast. We will be watching this to see what it does as it approaches our friends here in Kentuckiana, eventually up towards the Ohio River, Brandenburg, West Point. As you go over towards Muldrow, it is pouring down rain. Satellite signal, good chance you're going to lose that. Have your phone. We have live streaming coverage, WDRB.com. If you have satellite with this, obviously lightning and heavy rain is your worst enemy. So now a little bit more of this starting to come back, a little bit of rotation in between Flaherty and Four Corners. You can see how it evolved over the last 30 minutes and now starting to see a little bit more coming together. And that's not shocking. This has been a supercell with a tornado on the ground since it's been in Arkansas for more than 275 miles per hour. It's not just going to go away all of a sudden. It might lose some characteristics, but this is one of the biggest, baddest tornadoes that we have ever seen. As we see a lot of wind shear, not quite as concentrated and tightly wound, which is actually a good thing. While you can get some stronger winds spread out, it is less likely that you're going to get a tornado in here. This is kind of gusting out when you start to see this extended area of that wind shear, which is good. I mean, we don't want any wind damage, but certainly damaging straight line winds is better than getting a tornado that could have winds in excess of 100 miles per hour. So this is more linear now, definitely spreading out as it moves off towards the north and northeast. Here's 31W coming out of E-Town up north. Radcliffe, you have some rain, you have some lightning. You are about, I'd say, 5 to 12 minutes away from getting into the worst of the storm because this northern side, just north of Radcliffe, is not where we have rotation. It's coming right in through here. If there's going to be a tornado, it would come from the center part of that tornado warning box. And there's more storms out here into Illinois. The cold front's just coming through St. Louis. So this is really just like the first round as expected until that cold front clears, which isn't going to happen until maybe 7, 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. We can't give the all clear. I think this is going to evolve into more of a straight line wind event after this first round comes through, with the exception of this one supercell down here along the Kentucky-Tennessee border as it takes aim into southern Kentucky. And Hannah pointed out to me a little while ago about Governor Beshear issuing a state of emergency in western Kentucky where we have catastrophic damage from a tornado that touched down. And it's that same cell that's now into Kentuckiana, but a completely different look. Still some signs of rotation right there, about 8 miles to the west and southwest of Radcliffe. As you look at some of that rotation, a different look to it, not quite as the same, not quite as intense, but it's still there. So a possibility of a tornado. You want to be in your safe place, no doubt about that. Also, reporting from the National Weather Service, over the course of the last 30 to 60 minutes, we have not heard of any damage to pass along with this tornado warning that we've been dealing with for the last hour. That's not to say we don't have any damage. It's pitch black. You know, sometimes you have to wait till the sun comes up and you can really see something. You know, this isn't the most populated area, so if there was a tornado, if there was a lot of damage, maybe it was just knocking down some trees where no one was even around. Heavy rainfall rates anywhere from 2 to 3 inches per hour. I mean, you don't need me to tell you, really, this isn't the time you don't want to be driving. You've got rain, you have wind, you have the chance for tornadoes, you have really the whole gamut. This is a terrible night to be outside. Hopefully, all the warning that we had put out over the last few days got into your head and you're like, you know what, we'll just take it easy and we'll hunker down and watch this thing take place. So here is the latest tornado warning. There's a decent chance this could continue, maybe a severe thunderstorm warning as it moves towards Bullitt County. But I will tell you, if you're in Bullitt County right now, you're next in line with a good chance of going under some sort of warning, whether it's a severe thunderstorm warning or if we continue this tornado warning. One way or the other, get ready to seek shelter if you're up in Bullitt County within the next 15 to 30 minutes as we track this to the east-northeast, right towards I-65, Radcliffe in about 10 minutes, Solitude in around 20 minutes, Lebanon Junction in around 30 minutes.
All right, so Jude, I mean, you did a great job explaining the evolution of the storm, what we've seen happen in the last 20 to 30 minutes. it's just been really dynamic to watch the structure of this storm kind of evolve and actually pick up debris, throw it to the north, and the rotation still has come down significantly, which is why we've switched over to a regular or traditional tornado warning, one you should still take very seriously. This is going to go east of I-65, and it's now impacting areas like Radcliffe, Four Corners, Flaherty, through Muldrow, Pitts Point. You are right on the edge of that tornado warning. The next areas that would potentially get warned, just to give you some communities, Bullitt County, I hate to say it, but you're next. So areas like Shepherdsville and Bardstown Junction through areas like Scuffletown, Ridgetop, Hillview, you are potentially in the path of this dangerous storm. So whether or not they decide to continue with tornado warning or do severe thunderstorm with tornado possible, that's up to the National Weather Service. But basically, anything's fair game right now. When you have a storm that's done damage over such a long period of time and maintain that sort of strength, it's not going to go away in a couple minutes. It's going to take some time to break down and to fall apart. So that's why, really, if you're in Shepherdsville, if you're anywhere in Bullitt County, please take necessary precautions now to protect you and your family. We've been tracking this storm for hours now, and just watching this thing basically lose some of its energy but still have enough to do damage in these locations. It's just incredible. So you guys are trying to inspect and see if there's any areas of rotation that stand out and jump out and scream, hey, we have a tornado going on. Do you see any of that?
I don't see any of that right now. We just had a viewer send us an email from the Radcliffe area saying, oh, you guys, something's going on here. It's strong wind for sure. I mean, that's a guarantee inside of this storm. It's been packing strong wind from the beginning. I'm not seeing great signs of rotation here, but you are still under an active tornado warning right now in the Radcliffe area. We talked about this earlier. This is because we expect this storm has the chance to produce a tornado, not necessarily because there's one on the ground right now. And that's a very important distinction to make from this storm that's had a tornado with it for hours at this point. It's still moving to the northeast at 55 miles an hour. So Pitts Point, just a couple of minutes from you. Shepherdsville, you guys only about 10 minutes away from the leading edge of this storm. That's going to bring you heavy rain, strong wind gusts to 40, 50, even 60 miles an hour. This is showing you hail potential inside of this storm. Any storm that's really energetic, that's got a lot of power behind it, a strong updraft, that can produce some good sized hail. The radar indicating that that is not quite the size of a quarter, but getting close to it. So we are seeing potentially some small hail inside of that storm as well. As we look at the whole picture here, we talked about this all day long. We went from seeing discrete cells, individual cells earlier this evening, to now seeing more of a line form up. There are individual cells within this line that have our attention, that are a little bit more concerning than other pieces of the line. But as Jude walks you from north to south, you can see that this is starting to form up a little bit better. Now we got to watch that tornado warned storm just north of E-Town. That's important to keep our eye on because there's some empty space just south of there. It still has that warm, humid air, good dew points, a lot of moisture in that environment that it can use to continue building. That's gasoline to a severe storm like this. So keep in mind this warning is valid until 1:30, so another about 15 minutes or so, unless we get an update from the National Weather Service. But at this point, we have a storm that is capable of producing a tornado. I don't see great rotation. Jude, do you see anything here that really jumps out at you? Otherwise, I'm seeing a kind of a wind threat at this point.
I don't. I see predominantly straight line wind. What's really tough is to be on air and say, you know what, we don't see rotation. I know there's a tornado warning, but it doesn't show up, and we don't want to give the wrong idea that we couldn't get a tornado, especially with the nature of this cell being such a long track history of catastrophic damage, EF3 or greater. I mean, there's probably going to be points along this line where there were winds 175 miles per hour.
Would be shocked.
Not necessarily in Kentuckiana, but coming towards us. So this has a history of the last 3 to 4 hours of a tornado on the ground. It can come back in an instant.
Absolutely, and that's why we're keeping such a close eye on it. That's why we're still with you. You hear us saying this storm doesn't look the same as it did an hour ago, and it doesn't. You hear us saying we don't see that same tight rotation, and we don't. But we're still with you because we still believe that this storm is a threat to you, or that it can produce a threat to you at any moment. What you're seeing here, the kind of darker green right next to a bright green, look just north of Four Corners, right around that 920 marker. That's where we're seeing some of the strongest wind gusts. I think that's going to be our main concern now. We're transitioning to more of a straight line wind threat. And Jude's showing you how strong the wind is along this line. Jude, can you tell us what this means? There's a lot of numbers going on here.
Yeah, basically we pinpoint some of the brighter colors. That represents the higher wind. This is more of a straight line wind, but it does showcase areas where the winds could be gusting close to 60 miles per hour. While that might not be a tornado, 60-mile-per-hour winds bringing down tree limbs. This is a heavily wooded area. If your home is surrounded by trees, I'm telling you, sometimes you think, oh, well, if there's no tornado, we're going to be fine. 60-mile-per-hour winds bringing down tree branches or trees in the middle of the night when you're sound asleep. That's a frightening prospect. And a lot of times, most people are injured or killed at night. And most of the time it happens because not because a tornado is coming by and throwing you in a different state. It happens because you're asleep and you get a 60 or 70 mile per hour wind knocking a tree down on your house and you're not ready for it. So whether it's a severe thunderstorm warning tonight or a tornado warning, we have the likelihood for damaging winds greater than 60 miles per hour. And this is one of those ideas that you want to have in your head. If you are surrounded by trees, kind of act as if no matter what, you need to be in the center part of your home or in the basement, away from anything that could fall on top of your house, potentially causing damage or destruction and potentially causing harm to your body.
So we have 10 more minutes to watch this particular tornado warning. In 10 more minutes, I don't think they're going to expire it, but what they probably will do is either extend it or maybe go a severe thunderstorm warning with tornado possible. What we're seeing is more of a straight line wind event now inside that particular cell. And what this means is that you're going to have winds coming from one direction rather than spinning, which could be 50, 60, maybe even approaching 70 miles per hour. So don't underestimate the winds. And with those winds, expect trees to come down, expect some power outages. We're watching this warned storm. Again, E-Town, what we're watching right now, if you pull up the camera in E-Town on the picture computer, you can see the lightning flashes. There are just a ton of them going on. E-Town, you are not under any individual warning, but we're watching this very carefully because storms are going up on top of you, and these will get ingested by the thunderstorms, which are severe, just off to your north. So you can see, look at all those lightning strikes off in the distance, and we're trying to see if we can see anything inside those brief moments where it lightens up, and it's really tough. I mean, you got to watch carefully. You have to go way up to the TV screen, but what you can see is a lot of lightning, heavy rainfall, and there's going to be some straight line winds with this particular cell.
This is just so fun to watch the lightning on this camera, and I think if we just kind of hang on this for a second, it actually can really help us understand what's going on. So keep in mind, this is E-Town. It's mounted on the hospital there. You are looking at the most energetic part of these storms. And as you see these lightning flashes, it kind of illuminates the clouds. They are hanging fairly low. Most of the frame is dark. I mean, the top 2/3 of this frame, even when the lightning flashes, those are clouds. As you look at the bottom layer of the clouds, you're going to see little pieces hanging off of it. Those are not necessarily tornadoes, but the underside of these clouds looks a little disturbed. It's not a straight line. It's kind of bumpy. There's a lot going on here. There's still a lot of energy in these storms. And so as you watch kind of this layer right here, you're going to see these little pieces hanging down. Not tornadoes, nothing to be afraid of or concerned about. It just shows you that this storm is still moving. The wind is still moving inside of the storm itself, which is what we look at on the radar. So as these lightning flashes illuminate more of this, it just looks kind of unsettled, kind of disturbed. You don't see a tornado hanging down. We've shown you that on radar. What you do see is a storm that is still ongoing, that is developing, that still has some energy. Plenty of lightning here shows you that as well. Here you go. Now you're looking at the radar, kind of that same direction that we were looking, toward that tornado warned cell. A very active evening, still an ongoing tornado warning for another 8-ish minutes until 1:30 for parts of Hardin and Meade County. A regular old tornado warning because we expect that this storm is capable of producing some rotation at any moment. but I think we are seeing a transition to more of a wind threat at this point. It's confusing, not confusing, that's not a good choice of words, but it's interesting because you're seeing a couple of spots around Radcliffe and then just south of there where there's some reds mixing in with the greens. I'm not convinced that this storm is done spinning. I'm not convinced of that at all. I do think we're seeing some good wind gusts here, some strong wind gusts, but this is exactly why the tornado warning remains active, why it wasn't canceled early, because this storm can spin at any moment. And I think we are seeing part of that show up here on the radar. Jude, what are you seeing?
Well, I was curious if we could pull up the chat from the Weather Service to see if they have any reports, if they want to continue with the warning, maybe change it to a severe thunderstorm warning. Any reports on that? We have some...
They're not going to drop it just yet.
Dime-size hail, Lebanon Junction.
They don't necessarily have
I-65.
plans to keep the tornado warning downstream.
Yeah, look at that.
But definitely warning about that severe wind potential out ahead of this storm. So it looks like we're going to get some sort of warning out ahead of this. Maybe not necessarily a tornado warning, but some sort of, hey, you still need to pay attention to this storm. And you guys are looking at that cell around Lebanon Junction, kind of out ahead of this warning. What's going on there?
Yeah, that hail's reported right on I-65 coming away from Lebanon Junction now. This will move into Nelson County. That's kind of developed just in the last 10 minutes. This could turn into somewhat of a merger with that front leader cell up around Shepherdsville. So there's all sorts of action going on there. This is also an area that's been untapped. So we'll watch that. I mean, at the very least, I think that is borderline severe thunderstorm warning. If I'm in Bullitt County right now, I'm acting like there's at least a severe thunderstorm warning. If you're from Shepherdsville down towards Lebanon Junction, even over into northern sections of Nelson County, Samuels, north of Nazareth, towards Shelby County, we have some of this action moving towards you, where there's going to be the chance for some dime-size hail, gusty winds, heavy rain, and this whole cell is still holding together to where it does try to have some rotation from time to time. While it doesn't look the same, it's still kicking and twirling, and that's why we have a tornado warning that's ongoing. While we might not have a tornado on the ground, we continue with the tornado warning. And at some point, we're going to get an update from the National Weather Service to see if we continue with a severe thunderstorm warning, tornado warning, as we go towards Bullitt County, possibly northern Nelson County into Spencer County, eventually Shelby County. But there is a lot of lightning, heavy rain, and hail that could be around 3/4 of an inch to an inch in diameter, enough to keep you up at night. Let's let this thing pass on through Radcliffe before we can give you the all clear. This is the one cell. This is that one loner that we have in Kentuckiana that just keeps on trucking. While it doesn't have the same signature that we once had, where there could have been tornadic winds of around 100 miles per hour, we are still finding a little bit of motion where it just does not want to let go in between Dietz Acres, Radcliffe, and now moving to the east of 31W. We have that area highlighted. It's an area of rotation that's a little bit blah, but it is an area of rotation nonetheless. So that's what we're looking at right now, again, in between Dietz Acres and Radcliffe. And it even started to pulse back up, so a little bit of wind motion going on there. We'll watch that over the next 5 to 10 minutes. We're not going anywhere until these warnings are all cleared. It's 1:25 in the morning. If you're just now tuning in, we'll give you a wider perspective here of Kentuckiana, because sometimes you're watching from where there isn't a warning and you're worried because you wake up, thunder so loud, flashes of lightning. Metro Louisville has heavy rain, and this is all non-severe. Winds that could be 40 to 55 miles per hour. Again, non-severe, but enough to blow around some patio furniture, your Christmas decorations and inflatables and all that jazz. Heavy rain continuing for Metro Louisville, lightning threat. This goes up into Clark County. This is all moving to the east-northeast. As we come back down south into Kentucky, I know Hannah and Rick have been watching a tornadic cell that's coming out of the Christian County, Hopkinsville area. And this, if it holds together, could potentially move towards southern sections of Kentuckiana as we get a little bit later on into this outbreak of severe weather that we've been watching. So I want to show you down into southern Kentucky, down around Hopkinsville, where we've had a tornado confirmed with that cell. It is a long way off from Kentuckiana, but right there, tornado on the ground, just south of Hopkinsville around Fort Campbell. So this is moving towards Bowling Green. I know there's a lot of space in between locations south of the Western Kentucky and Bluegrass Parkway, but we saw it before with the cell that's now moving towards Bullitt County, it held together. So if this stays intact, eventually we'll be watching this by 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning, move into this zone. So we just want to give everyone an update so everyone's ready to go, having that plan in place as we continue with this tornado warning, at least for a few more minutes, just on the brink of Bullitt County. Not quite into Bullitt County just yet, but nonetheless watching it, Hannah.
Yeah, Jude, we've got an update from the Weather Service. So this warning was issued until 1:30. It's going to ride until 1:30, but at 1:30, this tornado warning is going to go away, and at this point, we don't have plans for a future warning. So we're going to stick with you for a couple more minutes, again, to watch this as it moves through Radcliffe. I just had a report that some power is out around that area. Obviously, the really strong wind is going to do that, and that's what we're seeing now at this point. Switching more to a straight line, strong wind threat around the Radcliffe area. Maybe seeing a little bit of rotation there, but really more of a wind concern. So we're going to stick with you for another 2 minutes at 1:30 when this warning is allowed to expire. Then we will also leave you be and get you back to your programming. Now, before we kind of wrap it up, Rick, last thoughts on how this storm looks now compared to when we got a hold of it.
Compared to what it was before, it's night and day. It's not even close to the same thing. This was a storm that was doing damage. It was an extremely large and dangerous tornado. And now what we've seen is the ability to drop the tornado warning altogether. Now, this doesn't mean that we can't see a similar situation unfold. I would say within this particular cell, instead of a large tornado that's violent, we would get more of the quick spin-up scenario. Because we have these winds pushing out from the storm, this large exhale, we can see a brief spin-up in that situation. But I would say with the Radcliffe-Pitts Point area through downtown Louisville, through Shepherdsville, Bullitt County, you're not looking at that same scenario. Now, to our south, we still have that tornado on the ground around Hopkinsville. So we cannot take it off the table that our far southeastern counties can't deal with something similar, but thankfully the worst is now over.
We're also starting to get a lot more of those power outage reports to come in. Once the worst of the storm passes you by, you're more likely to file that report. Let's see, the Kentucky Electric Co-op is reporting roughly 28,000 folks across the state of Kentucky without power. You've got to remember, though, how bad this storm was when it was around the Paducah community. That's where a lot of those power outages are going to be focused. We just got a report in from Radcliffe that they're experiencing some of that as well. So right now you're looking at the radar looped over the last several hours, watching how this line of storms is coming together. We saw those individual cells first. Now this is forming into a more broad line. The cold front itself, though, that's its second line that we've drawn that arrow from. That's the actual front. We can't give you the all clear on strong or severe storms until that front rolls through our area and kind of chokes off that storm potential. So the tornado warning that we jumped on for has been allowed to expire. So we're going to give you kind of one last quick hit of thoughts on overnight severe weather potential. Guys, before we get you back to your programming, what are your thoughts?
I would say right now we're going to start to shift our focus in the next hour, hour and a half, watching that cell move towards Bowling Green, potentially impacting Hart County as you move towards Greentail or Adair County. And we'll watch the thunderstorms that are ongoing up around Bullitt County into southern Indiana. They don't have the same kind of severe characteristics. It's not to say it won't come back.
Right, and you still see that cold front has warnings along it. So we can't say that there's not going to be warnings for the rest of the area that's now already seeing rain and storms, but we really want to just stay laser focused on our far southeastern counties because those are the ones that have the greatest potential now.
And we're going to be here with you all evening. Bryce just got here. He's going to be joining in on our coverage. If we need to jump back in for any additional tornado warnings, we'll be right here with you. Keep it here on WDRB, but now we'll send you back to your programming.